Hi everyone. Hello everyone. It is Thursday, 10:13 p.m. EST. So we're getting good on being on time, guys, and welcome everyone to the Sleepy Idol, a low-key pub in the east side of Brooklyn where you can sit back and
Brooklyn.
relax. Yeah, I'm changing it up every single time. Last time I think it was London, now it's Brooklyn. And you can sit back, relax, and enjoy a non-alcoholic beverage. Chaz, how are you doing this beautiful evening?
I'm all right. I was watching the Olympics.
Ooh.
Um, Today was better than yesterday. If anyone saw, well, if you're from America well, in fact, no, you don't even have to be from America. If you saw the mess that the American men's relay was,
Ooh.
I'm trash.
Did they flop?
Like, oh, they flopped. They didn't even make it to the final. They didn't qualify. But
Ooh.
I was just like, what the heck is this? And it was like so bad. It was bad baton passing. It was just bad. They put people in the wrong legs of the race. It was just all wrong. Just everything was wrong. I was like so upset yesterday. My mom was like just watching me being pissy.
I
It was just like, what the heck is this?
I think that's the only redeeming thing about the Olympics. I'm not really too tied to the American team. Like obviously go them, but it's like so I can watch it without being like too upset. But I always cringe when it goes really bad for any Olympic athlete because I'm like, imagine training 4 years for this and then like the one time you have to shine, it like just goes kaputzi. Like that must be
Yeah.
so depressing. Like I'd be depressed. Like Shikari when she got kicked out for smoking
Oh yeah.
yeah.
When she smoking weed.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
It's
I wish she
like,
just didn't smoke weed.
yeah, I really wish that that didn't happen because that would have been so iconic for her. But she's
You gotta
very
wait till
young.
after.
She's very young. So what I'm hoping is
Yeah,
that, the next 4 years she'll be ready to
yeah.
or she'll be able to participate. Hello everyone. Yeah, I haven't really been keeping up aside from that. I did see that like the Jamaican women's team like swept in the 100 meter, I think. I think. I don't know. Don't ask me. Never
I
mind.
think so. Oh, I think that's right.
Yeah, and that was like really, really. I think one of them even broke a record. And then I did check out the skateboarding, women's skateboarding, because I was so confused as to why everyone in the women's freestyle skateboarding was like 6 years old. They were actually like 12, but like they were all
That's
really,
like
really
diving.
young. What?
I was gonna say that's like diving. Diving.
What?
Everyone's like 10. At least I feel like they're 10.
I was so confused. Like the oldest one there was like 22, and she was looking like a grandma compared to the rest of the junior pair. But then
They're like, keep up, Granny.
exactly. I
They
was
do
like, I'm sorry,
backflips.
Mama, because she was younger than me. But I was like, I'm sorry, Mama, you need to get out of here. But no, just kidding. She did fine. But then when I looked at the guys one, they were like not 2 years old. I mean, they were younger. Like they were like
Mm,
20s, early 20s, but like it wasn't what was going on in the but like I mean congrats to those girls. They were very talented and it was really cool to watch because I know skateboarding is like a newer event, but I was just so confused as to why everyone was
yeah.
7. But yeah.
Everyone was
I was so confused. I was like, what is this, baby Looney Tunes, what's going on? So wait, okay, but why did they kick her out for smoking and then
Oh
keep that
yeah.
fencer with the assault allegations
Yeah,
against
they were
her?
not happy. They were like I think they did like a mixed I don't even know, mixed fencing or something. And then like the people on his team had like pink masks on and he was the only one with a regular mask on. He was like, I feel like nobody told me and was like, sir, you're being like you have allegations against you. Of course they're not gonna tell you.
Oh,
Like, sir,
yikes.
sit down. Just accept it.
Was it like recent, the allegations, or like how did he not
I
get clocked
think
for this?
so. I think it was before. I think I was reading that it was before, but I don't quite remember the details.
Yeah, that is messed up. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I understand, like, with the Shikari thing, if those are the rules, those are the rules. I definitely think, like, if we know that it's not a performance enhancement drug, in fact, wouldn't it be a performance deterrent drug, if anything? Like, because it, like,
Yeah.
slows you down. Um, but like, so like that's whack. But like, I guess if those were had been in the rules and have always been in the rules, and you know, this is a world sport, so even if a lot of people were like, well, it's legal in the U.S., but like this is a world sport, so it's like it can't
Yeah.
only be U.S. rules. But it is whack because it just sucks. But like, yeah, if like you're like, okay, no smoking, but sexual assault allegations, I don't know, like I pretend not to
Like,
see
has
it.
it been in court yet?
Yeah, it's like
Oh no, you can go.
you need at least one court case if you want to come. Like, no, like what's going on here? But yeah, so that's really really unfortunate. But I don't know. There's no. Are there any upcoming events, both Jazz and those in chat, that you're looking forward to? I don't know if it's even over.
It ends on Sunday. We still
Okay.
have like um there's still basketball, the finals. There's still no, I don't think soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Volleyball. Oh, okay. Another thing. I didn't know there was beach volleyball and volleyball. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I swear last week was all this beach volleyball stuff. How are they only in like semifinals for volleyball? And then I realized they're two different events.
That's
And it's just like,
interesting.
why?
Are the rules
But
any different?
I guess it's just because sand is different than being on regular ground. Because like volleyball is indoors, I think, on like solid ground,
Oh,
while
okay. I guess
um
if you're more accustomed to
beach
water,
volleyball is in sand.
that makes.
But it's just I was just like confused. So I think
Oh, Blissful
and
says.
hockey.
Whoa, okay, there's a lot. I thought that was like
Field
Winter
hockey.
Olympics. I'm so
Field
confused.
hockey.
Apparently, Japan is killing it in baseball. Okay, go ahead. That's what's up. It sucks because the fact that she won the race while she was high is impressive. Plus, the reason she smoked was because she found out her mom died from a reporter. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
hear that. That is messed up. Like, it's just a series of unfortunate events. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like. And I feel like they, like, on my diplomatic ish, like I understand why they're like, well, we can't make exception for you because then we would have to make exception for everyone. But on my sympathetic, ish, I'm like, come on, like she's a
Mhm.
baby and her mom died and she found out from a reporter. Like, what do you expect her to do? Like, dude, like a lot of people would have done much
Yeah.
worse.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely.
it's
Yeah.
just, yeah. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Olympics and
Oh,
oh,
sorry. I
go
just
ahead.
want to say I'm from New Jersey, so like two people from New Jersey and near where I live. Oh, well, where I'm from, not even where I live, where I'm from. um, won gold. So
Oh,
in track. So
hey.
it was
Let me
great.
fake share with you. Okay,
You know,
Jersey Shore. That's what's up. All right.
expect my gold medals in the mail, girls. Send it
Everyone from
over.
Jersey. Snooki's getting hers as well. Listen. Okay, so let's just skedaddle into the first topic of the day, which is interesting because we're kind of in a very sad, unfortunate way, starting with the shoe minute. So it was actually announced today that Mr. Xiumin himself tested positive for COVID. So it was announced, and SM, his company, released a statement saying, "Hello, this is SM Entertainment. We are here to inform you that EXO Xiumin has tested positive for COVID-19 as of August 5th. Previously, Xiumin took a COVID test in order to attend practice for a musical and first received a negative result. However, on August 4th, he felt abnormal symptoms and received a positive test on August 5th. As a result, EXO members and staff are all currently self-isolating as they wait for the results. In addition, all broadcast programs in which Xiumin is appearing in have been notified of this fact, and all cast and staff related to the musical Hadestown will be tested for COVID-19. Xiumin will immediately stop all schedules and actively follow the instructions of the quarantine authorities and will do our best so that the artist recovers quickly. We apologize for causing concern to the many people, and we will do our best to ensure the health and safety of all our artists and staff by following the quarantine guidelines." So, Xiumin is one out of a long list of celebrities who've been recently popping up and testing positive for COVID. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the fact that even with us seeing these celebs test positive, the entertainment industry is still like a bustling? Like, do you think this should like this is a sign that they should slow down? Do you think that this is like, just a one-off thing? Like, what were your thoughts when you heard about this?
Well, I just figured you just take like a 2 week break and be like, I'm back. So I don't know. He just seems so healthy. So I was just like, it sucks.
Mm,
But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully nothing bad happens to him. But I never really thought about like how like everything, so many people have been getting like positive results.
mm,
Is that I mean, I guess it could mean that they should slow down, but at this, especially since it seems like they're not doing vaccinations for that, like the younger age group
mm,
yet. So it's like maybe they should have just been like still doing like the masks and all of
mm,
that, like doing like precautions until like the time came that everyone could get vaccinated.
mm.
I mean, now it's kind of late.
Yeah. It's kind of too
It's like,
late.
well, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. And I understand the fact that like, the show must go on. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of staff. Like even in the statement they were saying there's a lot of staff they're gonna have to alert and stuff like that. And those are people that like, these productions, them being able to go on means that they're able to work. So I understand it's like a rock and a hard place, but when I see these COVID like you know positive tests pop up, I'm kind of like, well, what do we kind of expect? It's like a bunch of people work on these staffs and are interacting and stuff. And yeah, you can do cause positive test negative, but it's like even in the tests, when they said in the statement, like the day prior he tested negative, and then all of a sudden it was positive, and like we
Yeah.
know that's like how COVID works. Sometimes it takes a while for systems to show up or for like a test to actually be positive. So it's just like I think it's just so tricky. Like I hope he doesn't feel like bad or anything, because it's like if you're following what guidelines they allow you and you happen to get
Yeah.
it, it sucks, but it's like based on what's allowed, you weren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing somebody would have had to give it to him. So,
Yeah.
but he's kind of seen as the center of this, and now they have to do the back tracing. So it's just super unfortunate. Like, yeah. I don't know. It was just really, I was really really shocked, because it seems that like in a lot of the cases we've heard, they've recovered or gotten better, but like it's still a real thing that you can get like really sick or have like long
Yeah.
lasting issues. I recently read that apparently they're linking COVID, like having COVID can apparently potentially result in long term neurological issues. So like maybe you got it and like maybe you recovered, but like down the line you might have some like neurological issues. So it's like there's all these things that are still super scary about it. So, you
I
know.
always think of like that one guy who was like I think he was a theater actor, and he like got COVID, and he got really sick, and then they had to amputate his legs, and then eventually he just like died.
Oh
And he was
dang.
like only like 40. I think this was last year, like when COVID was like getting really big.
Uh-huh.
Like he had like it was a big thing that his legs were being amputated, and then eventually it just like got worse, and then he just passed, and I was like, what the fudge? And he was fine. Like
Oh my
that's
god.
scary.
Yeah.
Like how did that happen?
Wait,
His legs amputated?
the COVID, wait, he had to get his legs amputated because of COVID, and then the
Like it
amputation?
caused like something like no, not the amputate. I think it just like something happened where his body just I don't know, just acted I don't know. Something with COVID that like I guess an underlying disease he had came up, and then like it was just yeah.
That's
He was not yeah,
horrifying. Oh my
it was
god. See, I
I don't
know
know what his
those are
name
like
was.
very, very like fringe cases, but when you hear stuff like that, you're just like you want to just stay inside, and roll yourself into a ball, because that the fact that that's something that possibly could happen is so frightening. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, his
I
name was Nick Cordero, and he died at, yeah, he was 40, he was 41.
that's really, really, that's really
It was only
scary.
one leg, but still.
Ugh, that's frightening. Oh my god, this whole thing is making me feel so sad. I just hope everyone
Yeah.
like is able to recover. Like, I hope their vaccines. I know there's been like problems with like the U.S. hoarding vaccines, so I hope those become widespread. um jumping in the chat, I feel like a lot of idols have been testing positive lately, no? Or at least testing to see if they're positive. Yeah, I know Hani tested positive. I saw a couple actors that, sorry, I don't know them by like heart, like their names by heart, but like there are a handful of actors who also tested positive, and it's just been like, well, if you're going to work with a bunch of people, like, I know they're taking precautions and there's constant tests going on and stuff like that, but it's like, if you're coming into contact with so many people, something's going to slip through the cracks, especially using rapid testing, because it's like, it's
It's not
such a,
as accurate.
yeah, that there's a give and take. It's rapid, but it's not as accurate. So I'm not surprised, but I hope it doesn't become a widespread issue. Yeah, they have, and it honestly just shows that the culture of the entertainment industry is not gonna stop. Yeah, and I think it's worldwide too, because I feel like I haven't heard as many people in the U.S., but I think maybe that's because we have the vaccine more readily
Vaccine.
available. But still, it was like people were trying to go back to work. Even in the non-entertainment like world, a lot of people were like, "Okay, we got to get back to work." Like, sorry about
Yeah,
it.
my job.
Yeah, right. So it's so
My job is
messy.
trying to get you back.
Hmm. We can only hope Xiumin doesn't have an extreme adverse reaction after diagnosis. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope
that's
nothing.
all I can hope for.
Yeah, I hope nothing really bad happens. That would be so. That'd be just so like sad, like so depressing. Especially he just came back from the army a couple months ago. Like for that to be his, what happens to him
Yeah.
so shortly after would be really really unfortunate.
And they got all this stuff happening. It's gonna
Yeah.
play.
The
Go,
show must go
guys,
on.
watch Hades Town. Promote him while he's down.
Hold on for a second, guys. I think I'm lagging a bit. Am I lagging a bit? Hold on. Let me see what it looks like on the live stream.
It's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
At least from what I could see.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, it looks worse in my thing. It looks kind of. It's lagging a
Yeah, it's
bit.
lighting you.
Okay. I'll go back to this. Uh, it's a little. Hold on, guys. I don't know if this will fix it though. What I think I might do, because it seems like it's fine on Discord. It's kind of messy in here, so I might. Let me see if this works. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna take a quick All
All
right,
right,
guys,
guys,
we're
we're
back.
back. Sorry, I should have said something
Oh,
earlier.
are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
guys,
looked
we're
so.
back.
I feel like I looked angry because I was confused about what I was looking at.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
the
lag
lag should not be so laggy now. All
right,
right,
we're
we're back.
back.
All right, so
yes.
yes,
Prayers
prayers
for
for
Xiumin.
Xiumin.
Hopefully
Hopefully he gets better soon, and we're gonna move on to the next topic. The next topic is another shorter one, and it's another, it's I guess looking a bit more positive in a regard. The fact that SNSD, they just actually it's today. I thought it was yesterday, but today is their official 14th anniversary since their debut. So yes, SNSD is a group that debuted under SM Entertainment on August 5th, 2007, making today, August 5th, 2021, their 14th anniversary, 14 years as a group. Now, we know that they're not, as active. Their last comeback was their 10th, their last full group comeback, at least OTA, was when they released Holiday back in 2017. And since then, they've kind of been doing their own things. We've seen some subunits, we've seen some solo debuts. But, I feel like you gotta put a little respect on their name. 14 years is not an easy feat. We went from the 7-year idol curse to having a group that has been together twice as long. So I thought it would be fun to kind of, have everyone talk about their favorite SNSD moments, their favorite SNSD songs. So Jazz, I think I already know the answer, but what is your favorite SNSD song?
Genie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You wish.
You were a fan of SNSD for a while. When did you start? Like, was it when Genie came out that you started to stand, or was it you just went back one day and saw Genie and like, this is all right?
Oh yeah, one day I just was like, oh, this is actually like good. I like spent a day just like listening to SNSD songs and was like, hold on, wait a minute, why did I? Because like I think when I first got into K-pop, I tried to listen to SNSD songs because I liked the boys, but I didn't care for anything else that they did. I think because What's It Called was so popular, G. I was kind of like, oh, this is not what I need. So I kind of like turned away. But I would still try and like listen to their songs occasionally since they were such a top group. So I listened to I Got a Boy a lot. I tried Mr. Mister. So like I tried to like listen to them occasionally, and like if I liked a song I would listen to them more. But it wasn't until like I listened to like their full like all the music videos I was like, oh, they had more songs that I just ignored because I was just like, G is as far as I will go in the past for them. It's too far.
That's such an interesting. I'm surprised that you like I Got a Boy and you don't like Mr. Mister. That's really surprising to me.
Okay, so that's another song that I feel like recently I came back to and was like, oh, this is pretty good. I don't know why when it first came out I was like, this is kind of this ain't it. This is not what I came here for.
Honestly though,
but
in retrospect, I feel like Mr. Mister, maybe the Soans can check me on this, but I feel like it kind of got a lukewarm response. Like it definitely wasn't one of their more popular songs. So I guess you would kind of be, with the like kind of with the grain of how people feel about that song, because I feel like while people didn't hate it, I definitely think it was a more lackluster comeback in my opinion.
What was before Mr. Mister? Was it I Got a Boy?
I think so, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Mister was 2014 and I Got a Boy was 2013, and then they didn't have a comeback 2012, and 11 was The Boys, I think. Ooh, oh, that's really, really cute. Yes, if you're a hardcore Soan or a hardcore SNSD stan, let me know how you found them and how you got into them. But yeah, I definitely agree with you that Genie is definitely up there in terms of their more iconic songs. Really, really love G. I love G. It's just so cute. Like I love it. It's so adorable.
It's grown on me. It's just when I first was
good.
getting into K-pop, I was like, no. It's kind of like sorry. I was like, this is not it. But when I heard Lucifer, I was like, you got me. You're bringing me in.
Perhaps.
But now it's like, sorry. I'm like, it's not that bad. But like to get me into K-pop, that was not the song. It was not it.
That's fair. I also like Catch Me If You Can. I like
Oh
Blue
yeah.
Jeans. Blue Jeans is one of their Japanese tracks. It's actually a B-side, but it's one of my favorite SNSD songs. Let's see some stories. Ooh, Where Am I All Night Enthusiasts. Definitely like it better than Holiday. Not my favorite SNSD song, but it is a good song. Ooh, okay, we're having some Mr. Love in the chat. So here's my SNSD story. I originally thought they were a J-pop group because the first song I heard was Paparazzi, and I was also into J-pop a lot through anime and such. So to discover they were Korean was a shock. Mr. was popular for them for sure. 2012, I think they did more Japanese releases. Yes, I know. The reason I know that is because I'm so messy. Is because Tiara had a really, really good 2012, and I think they like outranked SNSD in something, and so people are like, "Oh, they're coming for their throat," but then like Soans will be like, "Ooh." Someone's will always be like, well, SNSD didn't release anything, so that's the only reason. Like, they moved aside so TR can say. It's very messy. I'm in the trenches of girl group mess. Don't come for me, guys. But it was Mr. was popular. The thing is, from my recollection of Easy SNSD's popularity, they've had massively popular songs throughout the gamut. But I always felt like their cuter songs were always more popular. Like, I feel like they got more, like, you know, G, but I feel like O was really, really popular. What else? Maybe it's just
I feel like I Got a Boy was very popular.
But I would say that was cute.
Really?
It's their version of, like, Tough, but it was cute. Like, all those colors.
It's not G. It's
that's
not
true.
G.
It's, well... they're saying Opa and stuff in that. Like, I feel like that song was 15 songs. But... So if you have to pick it apart, yeah, it'd be like. But I feel like it was, if I had the class, if you had to, and I hate pigeonholing girl groups into cute or like sexy or cute or girl crush, but I would say it was more cute. Like,
I would just think it's average, like not average, but like. Like it's it's not cute, it's not sexy, it's a song. It's
just mexy. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I feel like it's somewhere in between. And I thought Boa was a J-pop singer too. LOL. Honestly, that's a common occurrence. Funny enough, that was similar to how I got into K-pop too. I was an anime fan, listened to J-pop stuff. I thought Rain was a Japanese singer as well. I found a commercial that he did. I actually thought he was a twin. Because there was he did like a double mint gum commercial or something where it was two of him, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how they're over there in Japan. And so I found his Japanese stuff, and then I found his Korean stuff. But yeah, I feel like that's like a lot of people, you know, especially people who were anime fans have found their K-pop faves through that, which is really, really interesting. But that's surprising that SNSD you thought was a Japanese group. I actually never heard that before. Definitely Boa. And I feel like Boa, she was so entrenched into Japan that it makes sense.
Still can't believe she's a person that sings the Inuyasha ending. I was like, I used to love Inuyasha endings in general. I used to go on adultswim.com because they used to have a jukebox, and like you could play opening songs or closing songs to the shows. It could be anime or just their regular shows, and I would just listen to that. And also Aqua Teen's Hunger Force. The opening to that. I don't know why I was just into that. I would just play that 50 times a day. But like I would also listen to Inuyasha a lot.
I don't even remember what that theme song is. That show always like weirded me out. Like,
my name is Fake Zilla, Mike Rilla.
Not a stan.
I used to love that show. Very weird. Very weird.
Ooh, okay, we're getting some love for Hoot. Hoot was also a really, really iconic SNSD. They have a lot of iconic songs. Like, there's just too many to count on your, even ones that at the time you didn't even think were that iconic. In retrospect, it's like, that was it. Like, Party at the time, I didn't think it was that iconic, but in retrospect, I'm like, oh yes, we
like the party.
Yeah. People are like, this Polly Pocket commercial.
I know, honestly, it was like, that's exactly what I was seeing. Polly Pocket, like, we like the party. But it was opening cute. Up her little bite-sized house.
It was cute. Pem says, SNSD will always hold a special place in my heart. They're my true introduction to K-pop. What a good introduction, I feel like. The top girl group, the like nation's girl group being the first K-pop you experience. So to be a bit more messier, I wanted to also mention this being their 14th anniversary. this would mean that, and I couldn't really think of the math because technically Jessica was removed from SNSD on September 30th, 2014. So it's not exact, but it being their 14 years and she being, or their 14th year and her being removed at 7 years, she's now been in SNSD as long as she's been out of SNSD. So Soane's especially, I want to know how you feel about that and how you think of SNSD as a whole, because if you really think about it, even though they weren't super active post Jessica, like most of them, I think like the bulk of their legacy was when Jessica was there is going to be a generation of K-pop stans who don't really know SNSD as like a 9-member group. Like that's just like a far lore for them.
But will they actually remember? Like they're so far apart now that it's like, will they actually know who's currently in the group as well? I'm so because like some of them are just like in different companies. It's just like they're doing their own thing, and it's kind of like they haven't had a come back together
in a while
since Holiday. So it's like, would they even know? They're just like, oh, SNSD. I've heard of them.
I mean, that's
I know who that is.
That's fair. And ladies, that's why we need a comeback from y'all. Hi, SM, get it together. All right.
No, you're welcome. the number one K-pop.
But yeah, it's yeah, I guess you're right. There might be people who are like, there might be people who don't even know who SNSD is. And, well, okay, maybe not that.
Oh gosh,
not that far, but don't like if they're not on their radar, maybe because they're so entrenched in like the current. So that's a good point. But I don't know. I always think it's weird when you met a group one way, but it's been so long since they're that way. You vividly remember like when they were that way, but other people like. I don't know. I always use this as an example, but even though J Park was only in 2PM for a year, that was like the year I like stan them. So that era of 2PM is like ingrained in my head, even though he was only in 1 year and they've been out for like 50 years. So it's like, to me that's very important, but like to the average 2PM fan, they're probably like, J Park who cares? Or like, things like Hyuna, when Hyuna was in Wonder Girls, which was also extremely short, but like things like that, when people are like, what? And that doesn't even register to them, when it's like, for you, if you were there that era, like for example, like even though this was also very short, when Yeri wasn't in Red Velvet or something like that.
I thought you were gonna say EXO, because I was gonna like, some people will not remember
exactly.
like Luhan, Chris, Tao.
Yeah, like
who are they? Who are them?
Yeah, there's like there's a whole generation of XOL or K-pop stans who are just like, don't even register that those were people who used to be in the group. So it's very interesting. Fittingly, Jessica says, yeah, I feel like they probably wouldn't even know of SNSD that well in the first place. 2 different eras. That's fair. Because I think when I got into K-pop, I wasn't really checking for first-gen groups, even though most of them were already disbanded, as opposed to, while a lot of groups, older groups, are inactive, they refuse to disband. No, just kidding. They like, they still exist, so there's still like a chance that they could do something. But
yeah, they could do like what's that group? Was it SES? Oh
yeah, SES. Yeah,
yeah, they could do that. They came back after how many years?
I don't even know, like 25. I really don't know.
Felt like a long time ago. When I was looking at them, I was like, you guys are 5 in this. Now you've got accomplished careers, 5 kids, married.
That's so wild. I would like to do that though. But the thing is, I think as a group, that's why I'm like, we were talking about this last time, but like with the whole G-Friend disbanding and stuff like that, like I understand buddies being upset. I understand buddies being upset and stuff like that. But I like that it was like a clear cut, yeah, we're disbanded. We had a great time. Because I feel like it's always kind of like messy when the group doesn't actually properly disband, because then you have fans being like, don't worry, this is the year they'll come back and stuff like that. When realistically, and on top of that, members that kind of want nothing to do with that group anymore, not in a shady way, but they're just moved past that. They constantly get harassed, like, when are you gonna do this with, like, et cetera, when maybe in their head they're like, well, I feel like it's pretty clear that that's not my main focus anymore. So it's like it makes this like vagueness where like nobody really knows what's what, and so it's kind of awkward. But Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I just need Jessica to drop another song. That's all I need. Jessica, Tiffany, and Girls Planet do something. Oh, this is a great point. But no one ever covers Hoot and Run Devil Run. It kind of upsets me. That's true. There's like a starter pack of Girls' Generation songs that, like, when they're covered, it's like Into the New World, G, like, just those two. Maybe I don't think people cover I Got a Boy.
I think Genie. So
Oh,
no.
yeah, no. Genie does get covered, not as much as G in like Into the New World.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they have ladies. There's a whole, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole. They have I Got a Boy. I Got a Boy might be kind of difficult, so I could see The Boys,
Yeah.
Hoot, Party. Like there's so many. Kissing You. Kissing You gets like a decent amount of covering, not a lot, but I've seen a couple Genie covers.
I think Mr. I've seen that covered.
Oh, I think I've seen it once or twice. Sistar is a great example of a clean disbandment. I agree. And it's so weird that people tried to create so much drama out of their disbandment. Like, oh, it's because Xiumin doesn't want to like resign. It's because this. I'm like, maybe they're just done. Like,
yeah,
it's quite unfortunate.
They're tired.
Oh, Wiki Miki.
They got their coin and they want to leave.
Right? They're like, not moving on. Wiki Miki apparently covered Party. I did not know that.
That's going to be stuck in my head every time I hear a party. It's like, we like the party.
Oh, wait, Wiki Miki covered Nangmyeon? The Jessica song? That was another good one.
Where's that from? The old.
Yeah, so Jessica. So you know the what is it? You know that on I'm forgetting, Infinity Challenge, when they used to have that yearly song festival where they would like pair with like celebrities and then create like a song, like G-Dragon did it a couple times and stuff like that. Well, Jessica paired with Park Myung-soo and they had this song called like Cold Noodles or Naengmyeon, and it like went really, really viral. It actually was the same year that G came out, so it was actually kind of perfect. But it was like this song about like being cold, I think, faced or whatever, because she's like the ice queen. I think that played into it, and like the fact that Naengmyeon is cold noodles. But it's a really catchy song. I really, really like it. Oh, Infinite Challenge. I always say Infinity Challenge. But yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them. You know, Once Nation's girl group, always Nation's girl group. It's admirable that they're together in some capacity after 14 years. Very cool, very awesome. So speaking of SNSD, this has nothing to do with them, but I'm gonna move to the next thing.
I was like, wait. I was like on the next thing and was like, huh? How are we connecting?
So for the next topic, Jang Hyun, I always mispronounce his name. Jang Hyun Soon from Beast, or former member of Beast, Cube artist. After 11 years with Cube, he officially is leaving. So this was reported recently. And just for a timeline, because a lot of people don't know, he's had like quite a history. So when he was when he was originally a trainee, like back in the early 2000s, he actually was under YG. And what a lot of people don't know is that he was almost in Big Bang. He got cut before they officially formed the group, which, you know, given what happened with Big Bang, maybe that was a good thing in retrospect. But actually, some people don't know that Big Bang, the forming of Big Bang, was actually like a reality show. And so initially what happened is that both Seungri and him, they both got cut. And then Seungri was let back in, but he was just cut. But, you know, lo and behold, it was fine because he eventually joins Cube, debuts under Beast, or with Beast in 2010, I believe. 2009, 2010? Yeah, I think 2009, 2010. I think, yes. So he debuts under Beast. You know, Beast is fairly popular. Beast was a quite popular group during their era. But he does eventually leave Beast. Stays under Cube as a solo artist, but leaves Beast in 2016. You know, he has a solo release. Of course, we can't forget, and this is kind of backpedaling, but he was in Troublemaker with Hyuna, which was also like a huge thing. But now recently, as when his contract ran out. He did not resign, and he's leaving Cube. Do you think he's just gonna be a solo artist under another label, or do you think he's done with the entertainment industry?
Where has he been? Because like when I sent this to you, I literally was like, wait a minute. He left Beast, and then I was like, wait a minute. He's still under Cube. And it's just like I forgot he was here.
Well,
because like he's thought when has he last done something?
To be fair, from 2018 to up until March 2020, which was last year, he was in the army. So June 12th, 2018, I think that's when he went, or at least that's when he announced he was going to go. And then he only got discharged March of last year. And then the pandemic, literally he got discharged right when the pandemic started. And so in December of 2020, it says here, he had a digitally released song that released December 17th called I Just Can't Stop Loving You. Wait, no. Is it? The song was released on digital? Okay, yeah. So what did he have? So when he left Beast, he joined the dance competition, hit the stage. He renewed his contract in December of that year as a solo artist. So was it really just that one digital song that he released? Guys, please check me if I'm wrong.
I think, didn't he have a solo?
But was it? That's what I think. Here, let me look it up.
That's it.
Because I'm like, there's no way. I love a good Wikipedia moment for us.
I know. I'm just his singles. Yeah, he has an EP.
Oh, okay.
That he released in 2015. 2015.
Okay, so that was before he left Beast. So he didn't really do much after leaving Beast, is what I'm getting at. Or what I'm thinking. Let's see. Singles. My first, Break Up With Him. I know that's right. Okay. He had a digital single called Home. And then he had the I Can't Stop Loving You song. And so he had other charted songs. Let's see. So most of the things after leaving Beast, but still being under Cube, he didn't really do much from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
wait,
that's Cube for you.
But he won in. It says in 2016, Hyunsung won and was nominated and won Best Male Artist South Korea at the 4th Annual V-Chart Music Awards in China. But for what? Oh, I guess
for my
Break Up With Him. I know that's right. Or My First, maybe. Y'all will know.
That's right.
Where's the Beast? Where's the Beautifuls?
I used to love Beast. I was just listening to them the other day because I was like, I forgot about my roots. Where I came from.
Beast is your roots.
Oh yeah, literally. I used to love Beast. It was so bad. Like I used to listen to them. Oh my god, breathe in, breathe in. Yeah. So I used to listen to them. B1A4. I was just a boy group stan, like all the way.
Oh, that's cute. I think I was for a while too, but I'm kind of like mixed now.
Do you remember Boyfriend?
I was.
Would you be my boyfriend?
I wasn't a boyfriend stan, but I do know they were under Starship, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Starships.
Oh no. Wait, yeah, they did.
Well, they did before. They're not bad.
Didn't he release some music a couple months back? It says he released the I Can't Stop Loving You song in December of 2020, so that wasn't too long ago. Yeah, I thought he already left Cube. Like, what was he really doing even after the army? And we don't even know if it was like maybe he didn't want to do anything. Maybe Cube wasn't trying to promote anything. Maybe they weren't trying to put money into like a proper solo release or something.
It was weird. You would think like after Troublemaker, they would have been like on top of that, pushing him left and right.
That's true.
And then he won that award, and you'd think they would be like, all right, we're going to jump on top of this and do some stuff. But instead, they were like, we're Cube. Why would we do that? That's funny. That's cute. We'll just make another boy group. You know, we just lost Beast, so, you know.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's really messy. And yeah, I think maybe it's better for him to know. Well, let's see. Cube has Idol. Cube has CLC. Cube has B2B. Cube has.
Maybe they still have CLC.
That's
Do
true.
they?
They forget, but they have them. Like, it's like, well, how would they really be treating a solo artist right now? Like, did he really even have a fighting chance to get proper promotion if he was really trying to make music?
And then like Hyuna left too, so if they ever want to do round 2, it's like, well, that's gone.
True. Maybe now that he's gone, he's like, let me. Hyuna, I know it would be weird because everyone knows you have a whole boyfriend now, but let's.
He's gonna go to P Nation. Watch.
P Nation is just where you go now. P Nation's where the party.
Go in there. They're gonna do Troublemaker 2.0, and then done deal.
Oh, Cube does have light some. I forget about the younger groups, but they're newer. So
wait, they got
yeah, they already debuted.
After that, they got released. they debuted. I couldn't think of the word. I was like, what is happening? My brain died.
Yeah, they did come out. I forget where they did when they debuted.
Wait a minute, I didn't listen to that. I did not.
How are they doing, guys? I don't know.
Is that that's a
not Triple H
girl group?
Yeah, it's their youngest new girl group that debuted this year. Watch them restart Triple H. Can you imagine? He's like, finally.
Oh gosh.
Let me see the Cube roster. Let's go to the Cube roster. Let's see. Okay, Cube. Let's see who they have. Okay. Here's the recording artist. Oh my god, too many. They have everyone solo. Okay. Okay, so the groups B2B CLC, Pentagon, Idol. Oh, I forgot about Pentagon. Ooh, sorry. Pentagon, Lightsome, Troublemaker, Inactive, B2B Blue, B2B For You, Triple H, Inactive, Woo Suk, and Kwanlin. Wait, is that? Oh yeah, he got up out of there. Kwanlin. That's how I pronounce it. Is that wrong? Kwanlin from that season of Produce for.
Yeah. Why can't I remember 101?
Okay.
Yeah, he's gone.
I mean, yeah. So they have a decent amount of groups. I think they have a lot. Like, you know, Idol's killing it. Pentagon is killing it. I think CLC, you know, they could put more work into them. B2B, you know, is pretty established. I feel like they have a decent, you know, foothold. And then Lightsome is a newer group, but promising. When did they debut exactly? Baby, good night. Oh, wow, they only debuted a month ago. Okay, so yeah, they still have time to they need some time to find their footing. Baby, good night.
Pretty good views though.
Good night. And the dancing in the moonlight.
The logo looks like Powerpuff Girls.
Do you think? But
I don't know if that's
who is
Lightsome. I was gonna say I don't know if that's a lawsuit. No, the logo.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say they look like the Powerpuff Girls.
They look like,
but I thought
they look like they have no thumbs, fingers, big heads.
I thought Guanlin was doing good, but then he was like, "Wait, Cuba's taking all my money. I don't like that." And then he went to China, and he's making in China. Is he doing well in China?
I think he sued him. I don't know what he did after that.
It's weird
that he was like, I need to get out of here, and then that was it.
He's like, anywhere but here, anywhere but here.
He just ran.
It's weird that the last first gen Cube idol is gone. Oh, I guess that's true. Dang. Wow, did they even have 4 Minute on that list? Wait, let me go back real quick. They said 4 Minute never existed. Should they be listed? Is it maybe under former?
Yeah, they should be.
Oh, okay, here we go.
4 Minute.
Oh, Rain was under Cube for a cute moment. Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Oh wow, Kwanlin only recently got up out of here. Okay, yeah, 4 Minute.
I think he had to sue them, and it took a while. You know how it goes. If you're from China, you gotta like do a whole like you gotta do some somersaults, backflips.
They'll never let you go. They're like, no.
And then you still gotta pay them.
Oh, Gina. They used to, yeah. All the first gen groups are gone. Wow, for a cute moment, it really was just Beast and 4 Minute cooking. I didn't even realize Beast debuted in 2009. They must have debuted after 4 Minute. Wow, that's wild. Oh, I feel so old now. Yeah, so that is a lot. That is a good point. That is the last of the first gen Cube idols, and now it's who's like the face of QB would say right now? Would it be Idol?
Yeah. Oh yes, Idol, the whole group. Yeah.
Okay. Idol.
Not just
Don't do this. Listen. My face.
I'm sorry.
They have a lot of girls I like in that group. Don't do that like this. Although I feel like they're about to try to make it, because now with the controversy with Sujin, I feel like they don't know how to act. Like they don't know what to do.
Why they're trying to get her solos.
Yeah, they don't know how to properly
So they're
handle
trying
it.
to like diversify yourself in this group. Please. We need the money.
Give us your money. All right.
You don't want to have to go back to CLC.
All right, so yeah, good luck to him. I hope he gets to do what he wants. So now, you know, this is the main event. This is probably one of the most controversial. This next one is probably one of the most controversial topics that was like the talk of the town for for K-pop, at least on Tuesday, because it did trend worldwide. And that would be, okay, is it Bangchan or Bangchan? Because I meant to look it up, but I forgot. So let me look it up right now. How to pronounce it. I think it's Bangchan. Let me make sure I have it right though. I hate when I mispronounce people's names when I could easily just look it up. So I'm doing that now. The thing is, that's why knowing here Hangul is really, really useful, because like when you can see how it's spelled in Hangul, you get a better understanding of how it's pronounced. But did they have it here? Okay, Bangchan. Okay, Bangchan, he was being dragged to and fro and up and down the TL on Tuesday after a video of him dancing to Childish Gambino's "This Is America" resurfaced. So I'm going to pull up this TikTok by Planet Mingi from YouTube, who basically does a good job breaking it down why people, you know, did not like the video that resurfaced. Now, keep in mind, this video is a few years old, so it was something that came up. A lot of people are pointing out that they are having a comeback soon, so a lot of people are calling like flat foul play, like, oh, somebody brought this up or made resurface this because they wanted to try to sabotage them. But it did cause quite a stir, so I thought it would be interesting if we looked at it. I'm just clicking into it now. Let me pull it up. All right, I don't know if we're gonna get got, but because I don't know if how much of music we can play before they kill us. Okay. So here's the video. Let me full screen it. All right. So this is him.
I'm not even gonna talk about the pose here and give him the good old infantilizer Kpop excuse that you might not know. Even though it's so obvious that even in the video the pose had a meaning to it. But it must still be nice and give all Channy the benefit.
This is JYP. 여기는 자리지. Hey, Bangchan. Oh yeah. Hey, 어디서 왔지? Hey, kangaroo. Hey, 좋았지. Hey, 너무나 영광입니다.
Now there's no way you can convince me his Australian raised or C didn't know what those lyrics meant and that they add meaning to M. And it was lame ass. Anyways, I didn't turn into an anti, just educating. Stay moots, do what you'll do cause if a lot of y'all heavy.
I love the TikTok voice. It's so funny. Okay, so essentially, just to kind of break it down, if that wasn't clear to the people watching, a lot of people, so This Is America is a song that Childish Gambino, I believe, released in 2018, and it was really, really highly praised due to a lot of the topics it tackled and like the symbolism in the music video. So particularly, they pointed out a pose that Childish Gambino does in the music video. It's in the very, very beginning. Like, he starts off dancing and then he strikes this pose and then he shoots a guy in the head, right? So let me transition real quick. So this is the pose that is basically the hot topic, and so in particular why people are finding offense to this is because the pose that Childish Gambino, and it's the one in the upper pictures, the bottom picture was just like another example of the pose. people are calling it, I guess, the Jim Crow pose, but essentially it's supposed to be kind of in reference to Jim Crow. And so for those of you who don't know, actually some people might know Jim Crow as like a set of laws that were kind of, it was both laws and etiquette, right? It was kind of this idea passed after the American Civil War, which was the war between the North and the South over slavery. So after, you know, that happened and like, you know, slavery was on track to be abolished, there are like these laws and rules that were set in place to make it so even if Black people were free, they still would live horrible lives. So it was a lot of discriminatory things, like Black people can't do this, they can't use this, and then a lot of it was like etiquette too, like you shouldn't do this in front of a white person, or if a white person did this and that. But the name Jim Crow actually comes from a racist caricature that and I have to pull up his name doesn't really matter, but it was basically a racist caricature that this racist white guy in like the early 1800s would do. So you guys have probably heard of, I mean, you probably heard of blackface, which is like the act of like putting on makeup and acting in very stereotypical ways when you're portraying like a Black person. So it's like putting on this dark makeup, like, you know, charcoal and stuff like that. Like, so I was reading some of the stuff people would use, and then acting in these really racist, like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm this and that, to basically make Black people look bad. So Jim Crow was actually a like racist minstrel show character that this white actor would do, and he would like, you know, sing songs and things like that. So if you see the picture that's next to Childish Gambino, the top one, that is actually a drawing depiction of Jim Crow. And so like the body language is like recreated by Childish Gambino, or that's the interpretation when he lines up to take this shot. So what people were really mad about is that, you know, he Bangchan recreated this this pose, and then also just the fact that he was kind of playing and making light of the song in the sense that, you know, he put this song that has like these really serious undertones and talks about really serious things to like a funny, lighthearted rap about himself and JYP. So yeah, it was a huge deal, and a lot of people were dragging him. Like I said, it trended on Twitter. I think there was a hashtag, I think it was Black Stays Are Fed Up or Black Stays Are Tired, something along those lines, just basically like Black Stays kind of venting about how like every time this happens, they feel like they're silenced, or they can't believe this is happening again, and they're kind of fed up, and you guys shouldn't try to silence them and let them feel what they need to feel. But Bangchan, he did eventually apologize on and y'all, I'm so old, on a app called Bubble. I think it's an app. So yeah, it's something where you can communicate with your fans, I'm guessing. So yeah, right now I have up a screenshot of the apologies. So in the apology, he says, "Stay. As a member of Stray Kids everywhere around the world is a very precious slogan. Even if my attentions meant no harm, that doesn't matter at all, because there are people out there who are very hurt by my decision. I should have thought it out more thoroughly and clearly before initiating those actions. Once again, I am very sorry and would like to ask for forgiveness. I am once again asking for once again ask for forgiveness to those who have been offended. We Stray Kids do not support any racism in any form or matter." And then he says, "Stays, as you all know, I'm still lacking a lot in many aspects, but with the unconditional love and support that I receive from Stays, I can keep chasing my dreams to become a great artist and overall become a better human being. Stay, thank you so much for everything you've done for me." So I've talked a lot, but I'm just going to wrap it up to kind of wrap up the points about like this issue. So yeah, the two things that were kind of being argued here was, one, some people thought the apology was really good, and a lot of people were commending him because just by the way that he went through this avenue to do the apology, it seems like he maybe went behind JYP's back just so he would be able to apologize to his fans, because perhaps like the company wouldn't want him apologizing for something like this. But other people criticized because they felt like the apology was very vague, and it seemed very copy and paste, like, okay, this could have literally applied to anything. And so secondly, actually, let's just start. Well, no, let me take the secondly part. So secondly, there was debate whether Bangchan, being a Australian, but speaking English, understood the context of what this song meant, understood the context of the pose he recreated, and whether, you know, just kind of that like age-old debate, like intent versus impact. Like, did he know what he was doing? Did he know what he was making light of? And if he did, you know, if even if he didn't, like, does it still matter? Is it something that he should be condemned for? So that was a lot. And Jasmine, I don't know if you want to like read over it a bit more, but just at like first glance, you know, what do you think? And if you want to go over, because it was a lot of information that I updated today, so if you want to re-go over at any point, feel free we can re-go over it.
I don't know. Watching the video, like, because I feel like today was the first time I ever saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I've like watched things on like what the meaning of stuff in This Is America was and all of that. But like, I forgot that pose thing was even like a thing. And so like in my head, when I was watching, I was like, do normal people know that that's what that is? It just looks like a goofy pose. Because like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a funny pose, whatever. Like it's just, it seems kind of like almost like a Looney Tunes type of pose. So it's just like, it's funny. It's like it's a funny pose. But like unless you like look into it, you wouldn't really know. So it's like maybe he knows like the context of This Is America, but like not the all the details, like that pose that with like that poses something seriously like a serious like caricature.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, like I don't want to, I wouldn't try and end someone's career on that. And I don't think people, well, maybe some people are, but like, I think people do have a right to try and educate him, but like to, I don't know, to be angry and you can be angry, whatever. That's your business and you're right. But it just seems like over the top to try and end someone's career if you are trying to end someone's career, or just like make it seem like he looked at that and was like, oh my gosh, that's Jim Crow. I gotta get that in there. Like, oh my gosh, they're playing my song with Jim Crow. Like, no, I honestly, I just don't think that's what he was thinking or knew. I don't know. It's just,
yeah. No, I would say I definitely agree. I don't, and it's always so hard even talking about this as a Black person, because even if you like I was gonna say, when I saw this, so I know of Jim Crow as those racist laws, but the idea that Jim Crow was like this racist minstrel character, because when you think of like blackface, there's certain things that come up like Sambo, like Jealous Belle, things like that, but I wasn't aware that like Jim Crow was like a character, right? So a lot of this stuff was new to me, you know, and so I was like, well, when I saw this, I was like, it seems more he's just imitating what he saw in the video. Now we can have a great discussion. I feel like the idea of like trying to like funify something that is about this is like not, it's in poor taste. But the idea that like he knew what he was doing, which is like a phrase I saw a lot on like the timeline, I feel like that's a bit like, I feel like I'm fine giving him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't realize that particular pose was in reference to like, you know, specifically the racist minstrel show blackface character Jim Crow. But I think it was pretty distasteful to like, you know, make a funny thing out of like a song where it's like, you know, just like the context of it. Now it's kind of hard because the lyrics themselves, I feel like the lyrics paired with the video is what is like the hardcore message. The song itself, I feel like without the video, I probably would have needed like, you know, a lyric genius breakdown to really understand what the context of what he's saying. Because it's done really rhythmically, and like I think that the yeah, some of that background stuff is really what's the strong point as opposed to the lyrics. But I think together, like watching the video to know enough about the dance, it's like maybe this wasn't the best video to parody, like, you know. But I definitely agree. Like I think, I don't know, I feel highly uncomfortable with people being like he knew that this was because like again, I'm a Black woman who grew up in America, and I wasn't even aware of like the fact that that particular part was referenced to Jim Crow, this racist caricature. So like to think that he did too, I feel like I couldn't. Now I'm not saying everyone has to feel the same way as me. And again, I always have to preface when I say anything about Black people and K-pop and racist things, like please do not, if I say something that helps your fave or something, don't run to Black people and say, well, Jay said this, because Jay has a different opinion. Like me and Jay and like the Black person over there, the Black people aren't a monolith. So like point blank period, like we're all gonna have different opinions. But yeah, I feel like I agree that it's just, I can't find it in me to be like he knew exactly what it was. And you know what, I know that he didn't, because this, I agree with the sentiment that this apology is the vaguest shit I've ever like read. And I think it's the biggest shit I ever read, because I feel like when it comes to stuff like this, the quickness in which somebody apologizes for some reason is appreciated. And I feel like if you want somebody to really deep something, I'm not trying to look for a quick apology. I want like proper understanding. So I feel like this whole pressure to like answer soon or to want an answer immediately is like, to the downfall, because then you get like empty things like this that it doesn't really seem, it was just like, okay, they're saying I did something racist, let me apologize because it's making them mad, rather than, oh, this is like this is why. Like, it's just like, if I read an apology and I can't understand what you did from the apology, I don't think it's a good apology, in my opinion. And you see that a lot, I feel like, with like influencer apologies and stuff, where it's just vague as hell, and sometimes purposely so, because they don't want it to get any bigger. But a lot of times when it's vague, I feel like it's one of those things where you're like, well, these people are telling me I did wrong, so I just need to, like, I want them to shut up as quick as possible or whatever, so nothing happens, so let me just say what I think they want me to say instead of actually understanding. And again, I feel like it's because you don't really have the time, nobody really gives the space to learn, but also a lot of people are just like, I don't really care to learn, I just want you to stop yelling at me, that kind of thing. So
I could not be a celebrity in this day and age, because as soon as I slip up, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Too late, you already are a celebrity. This is the #1 podcast in the galaxy.
But I am a perfect celebrity, so that would never happen. It was just, it's a scenario that'll never happen.
All right, let's jump in the comments. Let's see. Andy says, yeah, I learned about Jim Crow laws in school, but never knew the name where it came from. I didn't see the OG video for this, but apparently there, along with this, was another video of Stray Kids mocking South Asian Indian culture, specifically making fun of the hand gestures. Ooh, mess. Okay, I didn't see that.
Hand gestures.
I didn't see that.
Hand gestures.
Yeah. Do you have like a video of it? Does anyone have a video of that? But Andy, you make up a good point here. I saw people saying that he should make a more public statement, since you have to pay for Bubble, if I remember correctly. I feel like maybe, does he have like a Twitter, like a solo Twitter, or like a solo Instagram? I feel like maybe that would have been better. But again, eventually we got it, so maybe he was aware people would take screenshots or something. But yeah, Andre says, I find it I find it so weird that him and other idols, when they do borderline racist stuff, say they don't support it, but yeah, you did it anyway. So like, you're sorry you did it, or you're sorry you got caught. Okay, yeah, I agree. Like, a lot of the times, like, me and my brother were talking about this, when older stuff resurface, I'm talking like older, like, when like somebody like resurfaces, this is a tweet from like 2010, and it's somebody like, saying the F word or something like that, or saying something really derogatory, and they're just like, oh, I didn't mean it. And it's like, you did, you just didn't care at the time. You know what I mean? Like, it just, because you weren't going to get in trouble for saying something like that at the time. So I think there is kind of something to be said about like when people make these apologies, like the level of honesty people are willing to have. And I understand that they want to make it sound as least harsh as possible, because if you truly don't feel that way in 2021 or whatever, then that's fair. Like, you are not necessarily the same person you were 10 years ago or whatever. But I feel like some acknowledgement and accountability that, no, I thought that was hilarious at the time. I'm gonna be honest, and I realize now that was stupid of me, and that hurt people,
Yeah.
ST says, I think it's a stretch to expect an Australian know the depths of American racist past. As a non-American myself, I don't think I would know as much about this if I wasn't Black myself. Yeah, and I think I can definitely get behind that. I think it's okay for him not to know and still want to learn, right? Like, I feel like there's like this thing where we have to, the only way that we like deserve an apology is if they knew what they were doing. And I think that's where that intent versus impact, like if I kicked you and I didn't mean to kick you, I still need to apologize. You know what I mean? Like, I would still like, it's like, I feel like people feel like they have to put this vicious intent on somebody so they can properly, you know, deserve the right to tear them down, or deserve the right to demand an apology, or deserve the right to enter. And there could be no malice and you still be like, hey, this is why what you said was messed up, in my opinion. Apology is a good start to forgiveness versus just waiting out for it to die out. That's another thing, because a lot of idols do will just like, and you know, we can have the discussion like their companies won't let them do X, Y, and Z, but you know, there's a lot of idols that people stan today that some people who stan are very loud when other idols mess up, but then their idols never apologize because they can't. But you know, it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely always a difficult situation, slippery slope with cases like these. I think a lot of these cases come from a place of extreme ignorance and can be frustrating for fans when it seems like it's just happening and nobody is learning but IDK. I agree. Like, what do you think about like the people who are like, you need education? Like, how would you go about educating? Like, if when like somebody, I guess you stand as something, you know, racist or distasteful.
I feel like not yelling at them and telling them you knew what you were doing. So good place to start. I feel like telling them that what they knew and all of that is not how you're going to get through to somebody. It's just like if you just trend like oh, this, you should do this instead of what you just did, because I like that's not respectful to the people of whoever you hurt. I feel like it's much better than just being like, you knew what you were doing. Like, why are you so trash? Like, obviously you're trash. You knew exactly what you were doing. Like, go die. Like, blah. Like, it's like that's not gonna get anybody's attention. I mean, it might. It's gonna get their attention in a more frantic way, like how he's very vague with his apology. But if you're like more not appreciative, more understanding and like trying to teach them rather than teach them and yell at them and be abusive, it's like that's not going to do anything. That's like hitting a kid when they do like say an answer wrong or something and then expecting them to be like, well, you know what, everything's fine, I'm gonna answer it because like I wanted to learn, rather than I'm scared to get hit again.
Yeah,
it's like, no.
And I think there's also, because the thing is, there's there's give and take. Like, for example, in this case, I don't think, like, while I think like he probably understood that this was like DB music video, so like it was distasteful to like, you know, do like a parody to, like the Jim Crow pros, I don't think he knew about. But like somebody, for example, like Wendy, sorry to bring your face again, but Wendy, for example, when she did that racist like accent of like Black women, it was like, oh, well, you knew what you were doing because you knew you were mocking like how Black people act. So in that case, I'm like, okay, but that was messed up. Like, you deserve to be called out and dragged for that because you shouldn't be doing that. And that, because in that case, I don't think it was education, because it was like, well, the whole joke is that it's a funny caricature of like how a Black person acts, so there's not much room there to be like, you didn't know, whatever. So in that case, but I think in this case particularly, like the intent wasn't there, so I would be more open to being like, hey, this is why what you did was messed up, instead of, hey, like a more like, you know, like F you. But I also see this kind of idea that's constantly talked about, and not just in this context, but in like many contexts, about how like people are tired of being Mr. Nice Guy and educating. It's like, because it is kind of uncomfortable sometimes being a Black K-pop fan, because you constantly have this thing in your ear that like, oh, all your faves think you're a disgusting monkey, and like they do blackface and they say bad things about Black people all the time. Like, it's embarrassing for you to even stand. And I feel like that puts a lot of Black people on edge. Like, they're like, should I really be giving this person the benefit of the doubt? Did they know better? Did they, you know, like, for example, what is it, Kwikwan from from Beast, Highlight, I should say, he like did straight up blackface. And so it's like at that point it's like, what the heck, dude? Like there's no like two ways around it. So it's just like when you see stuff like that, it's like, well, he was the one who actually did it, but who was thinking it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. Because I also think as like a Black K-pop fan, when you don't have the right reaction, there's a lot of people coming at you. Like, you want to be upset about it. There's people being like, well, if you don't like it, get out of K-pop. You want to be more compassionate about it. There's like, well, you're like, you love these Korean people so much, you would let them walk all over you. You know, it's like a constant back and forth where you're just like, I would like to be happy. Like, I would just like to not have to worry about, you know, being made fun of for my race, but then also not being made fun of because, you know, I like, you know, still stand because it's hard not to stand or whatever. Like, sometimes, like, just to wipe clean, or, you know, you want to give the benefit of the doubt or something like that. So, one thing I hate, though, is stan Twitter just licking their chops, waiting to swarm in the next person to mess up. Yeah, that is weird behavior.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like, why do you have to use for real social justice causes to play out your corny ass stan wars? Like, it's like people that you know don't care, you know, about saying the N-word, or don't care about, you know, homophobia, or don't care about, you know, racism, whether it's with Black people or Southeast Asians, etc., etc. They're ready to pounce on that, but it's just because it's a vehicle to bring hate to somebody that they already didn't like. And it's like, wow, you're really using that, though? Like, shit that people actually like are hurt about and like are constantly on edge about, to play out your corny stan wars. I know these idols probably don't have time to sit down and read a history book, but the basics bare minimum would be nice. Like, when someone travels to a country, you tend to learn a little about their culture. So why can't idols? Why can't companies take some responsibility, especially knowing how important issues like this nowadays? Yeah, I definitely think that's fair. I definitely think like some sensitivity training, some cultural training would be helpful, if like, especially if you're an idol that's like trying to go global, you know? Like, it's like you're gonna run into these problems.
Yeah. I just think that some things that people point out are just like, it's such a not a niche topic, like not a
like
topic,
not everyone would know
knowledge. Yeah, it's like not everyone knows this. It's like, let's not try and make it seem like everyone knows this. Everyone in America knows what this means. Like, it's like, no,
yeah, and that's where like I think a lot of my benefit of the doubt, because if I don't know something, I feel like it's not right for me to expect somebody else who doesn't even have the right to know it. And I would hope that I would get the same grace. Like, I'm really into like Japan and Japanese culture and stuff like that, so I would hope if I did something that was ever disrespectful to that culture, people would be like, oh, she probably didn't know, not like she's purposely trying to do this. So that's where,
like, I remember like I put like chopsticks into my rice and had it standing up.
Oh no.
And so, like, I didn't know. Like, and my roommate who's from China, she was like, yeah, you don't do that. That's like bad. You don't do that. It's like death or something. And I was like, okay, well, I won't do that again. But I didn't like yell at me and like, you knew what you were doing. I was your roommate. Like, you should have read up on this. Like, calm down.
But I also get the idea that like a lot of these
slip-ups.
Yeah, a lot of these slip-ups happen to people who claim that they really love like Black things, like they love Black music, Black dances and stuff like that, or dances that are created for like by Black creators and things like that. So it's kind of like, so you like the song enough, but not to look into what it means to the point where maybe understanding why it's maybe not the greatest to do like a song parody of, you know, like
you picked this song.
I really, actually, that's a great, I don't know the context of it. I would maybe assume since he had that rap, but I don't know if that was like a off the top.
That seemed like a basic.
I would hope.
He said, I'm a kangaroo.
I would hope.
I swear, I would hope he didn't have time to prepare. He was like, I'm a kangaroo, guys. That's my rap. You guys say, is it cold? And we got it done. Best rap.
But yeah. So yeah, overall, I feel like most of it died down after his apology. But yeah, I just hope that like when we have these discourses, they can be like, you know, I think Black Stays definitely probably felt like a way and felt maybe a little attacked, because I feel like a lot of people do get defensive when their fave maybe was deemed doing something that could be culturally insensitive. They go and attack one, they're like, everyone like hide it, or like be like this, or like sometimes you feel like you can't even speak up because if you say something, even if it's not even like, oh, he needs to be condemned to heck, even if it's like, yeah, this did make me feel uncomfortable, a lot of people can't take criticism of their fave, so they just like freak out and want to go on defense and attack mode. So, you know, it kind of depends on the person. But yeah, so overall, you know, hopefully he's more careful in the future, and hopefully people can give people the benefit of the doubt and room that if they're claiming genuinely not to know, they didn't know, like at least give them a bit of grace in that regard. But none of that will happen. People will keep being racist, and people will keep ending their careers. Anyway, so next up, we're going to do the comeback corner, which is a corner dedicated to new songs, comebacks, and teasers. So for the first person we have up for today, Miss Somi released the music video for her song Dum Dum, her first comeback after a year. And I didn't like it, I'll be honest. First of all, it was a micro song. It was only 3 minutes.
I don't even think it was 3 minutes.
Yeah. Second of all, it did the drop verse that Mr. Theodore, come here.
Teddy's not tired, and I need him to be tired.
Yeah, it was Teddy that made this, right?
Yep. Oh, I made sure. I was like, this is a Teddy all written all over it, and I was like, it has to be.
Theodore, listen, come here. The no chorus drop verses were done. We wrapped that up in 2018, quite frankly. You have to come up with something else. Unfortunately, you do have to come up with something else. We're tired of it. And this song, it was shorter than the damn SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. It needs to be longer. We need like a full, like, what was this? This wasn't anything. This was basically Jenny's solo part 2. It's not working, Theodore. We need something else. We need some creativity. I don't know. Find your old 21 files. I don't know what you need to do, but it needs to be done fast, or you're fired. I don't know how I can fire you, but I'm going to figure it out because it's stale. It's very stale. I don't know. What did you think about it? Were there any things you thought were good?
I don't even remember the song that well. I just remember listening to it and just being like, this is a Teddy song. That's it.
Teddy should make this.
And I was like this, as soon as the chorus came in, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's Teddy. He's doing it. His mom's proud. She's like, that's that Teddy written all over it. Because
it's sad because the thing is I liked what the song was about. I like the idea of like this guy that's not getting the hints you're putting down, you know, the whole dumb idea. That's very that's very cute, that's very clever. Somi looked great. She's definitely on her grown ting now. Like, I definitely was getting really grown vibes. The blonde was great. I even liked the theme. It was very like American high school teen movie. Like, they had the prom scene, they had like the the cafeteria scene. I loved it all. But it was just like, this song, you're right, it is memorable. I can barely remember what it sounds like. I just remember
the Dum Dum.
Yeah.
The Dum Dum.
Which, watch me be such a hypocrite and be dancing that, because the dancing was there, the choreo was there, I'll admit. So I might get addicted to the choreo.
Also that rap. I'm sorry.
I actually like the rap. You didn't like the rap?
You liked it?
Yeah, I thought she sounded good.
She sounded all right. I was just like, they would just put a rap in and they're like, so let me rap. And she was like, I guess.
She's like,
I thought I was singing, but okay. I can do it, I guess.
Oh my god. It was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We love a jingle. What the heck? Oh my god. I don't mind the drop chorus. It needs to be good, and I think it does the job here. Okay, so we have a little pushback, and he's saying it's on Bop territory. Okay, that's fine. The thing is, I don't hate a drop chorus either, because I like do-do-do-do-do.
Mm-hmm.
I love that drop chorus, and there's probably others like Oh Na 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 by Card. I like that too, but I just think that it was just not. It wasn't giving me anything. I don't know. What were you gonna say, Jazz?
I just randomly looked at the picture for the teaser or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Hannah Montana. I don't know.
Listen, Somites,
If that wasn't
she's trying to
trendy.
drag your girl. It's not me.
But, like, does it not? Wait, hold on. Like the Hannah Montana where she's like got the half of her face showing and it says Hannah Montana and the like.
Stop!
Do you see it? Do
Not
you
Hannah
see it?
Montana. I did not.
I'm
not doing
oh
so
my gosh.
much.
I gotta look this up.
Hannah Montana has bops, so you know what? Let me not. Okay, it's giving
Honestly,
Hannah
her
Montana.
first album, beautiful. I memorized like every single song.
It was a bop. I mainly just like the chorus, less drop and little dance, but LOL. But yeah, I've been seeing all the solo and Rose comparisons. I don't think it sounds like I think Rose's also had a drop chorus, but I feel like it was different, kind of a different genre. But I don't know. It's giving me Jenny's solo. I love the visual. The visual and the styling were on point. Oh my god. Don't do this. Wait, because it's kind of, you're right. Do you guys see
I don't know what it is.
It's kind of over jazz right now. But that's what she was. No. Oh wait, I'm just waiting for Somi. Yes, Somi is also releasing. She's been doing more teasers. I think hers is on the 8th. I think she's dropping on the 8th. How is this only her like third title? What is up with YG Black that they're doing this? Not only her, but with Blackpink. Yeah, it's been a while since she's joined the Black label, and she's really only had Birthday, the song that she released last year. What are you waiting for? And then this, and that's not a lot. Let me look it up just to make sure. But yeah, what is up with them doing? I mean, I'll give them a benefit of the doubt because I'm sure the pandemic they had to push back plans because of that. But like for the most part, there's not much she's gaving. She has been gaving. I don't know what's the term she gave since the onset of that. That's really weird. Or the onset of her joining the Black label. That's very strange. Down. All right, Jones for me. We actually looked her up last time too. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, on August 20th, 2018, JYP Entertainment released an official statement revealing that after mutual agreement, Somi had terminated her contract, thus leaving the label. So they had 3 years. I'll say 2020 wasn't a great year, although she did release a song last year. But yeah, she had, okay, I guess she had Birthday in 2019. What are you waiting for? And then Dumb. But that's weird because if you're a newer, like she's not herself not new because she's obviously been around since like the inception of Twice, which has been like since what 2015. But like for new songs, I'm thinking you're making 2 comebacks a year, at least.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of dry. I don't know if because she's a soloist, it's a bit different, but
she's under YG.
That's true. So you're lucky to have one song a millennia.
Eddie can only make so many drops
exactly.
in a year. So he's out here like, this is my one drop, Somi. This is it.
Take it
so I can squeeze out. The rest is going to Blackpink, so I don't know.
Blackpink to also not put out.
Yeah. They're just going to sing it and then put it on the side.
He's like, I hate making music. Surprise. Nobody ever put out any of my songs. But I'm also excited for Somi. We did talk about her a bit. She did have a couple more teaser pictures drop. Let me see if I can find them here. But another person
still teaser pictures? Is there not a
like okay, I love Somi and she's serving, but oh my god, teaser pictures be killing me. Like I always tell y'all, I love when we can get a song. I love when we can finally get a proper song. Let me
Oh wait, there's an MV teaser.
There's an MV teaser? Okay, look at me complaining for no reason.
Ooh.
What is she giving?
Giving B movie, horror movie.
Oh my god, when you said B movie, I thought you meant the B movie with Jerry Seinfeld. I was like, girl, why are you being so shady?
It's a horror movie. Same time.
I was like, why are you being shady tonight? All right, You Can't Sit With Us. This is very cute. I like it. It's giving Y2K. She loves a good filter. I love my girl because she loves a good filter. Okay, hers is August 6th, so that's tomorrow. It's dropping tomorrow. All right. Okay, I love this one. It's
It's
giving
dropping
soft
tomorrow?
hip-hop. Yeah, that's all, folks. August 6th.
Oh, okay. Cool. I will be
Ooh.
there.
Okay, it is giving horror movie. Oh, it's called You Can't Sit With Us? Oh, this is about to slay. Okay. Miss,
Oh, it
okay,
sounds very
Miss.
80s. I love her style. It's
Yeah.
always like very 80s like, and I love 80s sounding music.
Okay, I love this. I thought it was Y2K, but you're right. It looks a lot more 80s horror movie. You Can't Sit With Us, a title. Okay. She's coming for us. She's coming for the girls. All right, I'm excited for that. Speaking of comebacks, not Miss, but Red Velvet is also coming back. Let me pull up some of their
Miss
teasers.
Red Velvet.
Huh?
I said Miss Red Velvet.
Miss Red
It's
Velvet.
just one of them.
this solo artist. Oh, okay. And they've been dropping a bit of teasers too. We're just gonna scroll down the Insta. We have an Irene teaser. Okay, so there's 6 mini album Queendom, and I think it's coming out on the 8th, or maybe it's also dropping to the 16th. Okay.
Oh, so there's a whole schedule. Seems very long.
We have Irene, Yeri, Joy, or Wendy, Joy, Sogi. So right now I'm showing the teaser timeline, and this thing is so cool. It's like an old time fashion catalog. They really be killing it with like the concepts. Like no one's really touching them. I'm sorry, nobody's really touching girl groups in general. Well, specifically FX and Red Velvet really be having these concepts that are just the other girls aren't doing it like them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's so good. I love it.
I really like the mood sampler. It seemed like very like, I don't know, kind of a dollhouse feeling. I don't even know. I liked that it was kind of different than their other stuff.
It was definitely giving me, yeah. But I'm really excited. I know there's gonna be something I like on this album, even if it's not the main title track. But
yeah,
there's not many Red Velvet title tracks I don't like, except Oompa Oompa.
Oh, come on.
Oompa Oompa sucks. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
That is a summer bop. I don't know. You just need to listen to the chorus again and ignore the Oompa Oompa, and I bet you'd probably be like, you'd be like, this is a good song.
With Somi, we'll see if Dum Dum really is a pre-release. Ooh, is that what I would hope. Even if they just try to save face and they're like, if it starts like not doing very well, starts flopping, they're like, oh, that was just a pre-release.
Like...
the actual song is coming soon. But yeah. Yeah. Somebody said Somi's MVs are 33% credits at this point. Listen, whatever works. But she's really having, I feel like Birthday did the best so far. Well, to be fair, Dum Dum just came out. We don't know. It might be a viral smash hit, you know? I feel like the days of something being like a sleeper hit aren't completely gone. So, we'll see. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. My computer is a hating ass B word. But what were you doing? Discussing Somi. But yeah, so good luck to Somi. I was going to say the next topic I wanted to just real quick squeeze in is the fact that it was finally announced that Lisa's actually set to do her solo from Blackpink. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Lisa solo.
Is that real or are you faking it? Because that's Jisoo's gonna come back in like 2040.
2300. The thing is that they're saying that it's supposed to be this summer, but it's like, girl, the summer we have like literally a month. Like, what does that even mean at this point?
They're like October. Is that not summer?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? We might as well do it next year then.
Right? They're like, summer, not this one. But yeah, I was just like, girl, what even? Like, if it's not, like, that's so vague. But yeah, Blackpink's Lisa set to make her solo debut. She'll release it says she's gonna release solo music for the first time this summer. Lisa will be the penultimate member to release. This is so ridiculous. Jennie led the way in November of 2018. We were promised, that's when we were promised other solos by the other members. Then we had Rose earlier this year. And I guess they're just being like, okay, let's just see everyone else. Let's see everyone else. And then Jisoo was saying Jisoo would be. So there's not much information here. It's just the idea that we're going to get a solo from her soon. But I'm like, about dang time. It's just taking too long. It's taking way too long. But lastly, I wanted to talk about in the comeback corner the fact that Xiumin and Dasum from Sistar, they're doing a special project where they're gonna come back as a unit with a song called Summer. So a lot of people are excited because they're like, oh, the real summer queens are back, the true summer queens are back. They're gonna snatch up. Are you excited for this comeback? Were you a big sister? Yeah, for this. It's not a Sistar comeback, I should say. It's a Dasum Xiumin unit. What are you anticipating this?
Well, the summer's over, so yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, the summer's kind of done.
You said, girls, you're a bit too late.
Yeah, we should have been doing this earlier.
I mean, I definitely can see that. But you know, technically summer doesn't end until like September-ish. So I mean,
next month.
That's
so. When are they releasing this? When is the release date?
August 10th.
They got 1 month.
All right, sometimes 1 month is all you need. Listen, they're like, there's less competition, so like everyone can focus on them, so it's good. But honestly, I'm surprised.
Well, isn't less? Red Velvet's coming.
And Red Velvet can come. Coming. What are you trying to say? I'm just kidding.
Somi's coming.
Somi?
Somi.
Okay, I was gonna say Somi. She came and she went. No, just kidding. Listen, I'm not because y'all gonna make me seem like an auntie. Somi's my girl. Don't do this.
Yo, you said it. She said she came and went. Don't make me seem like an auntie though.
No, because I'm just playing. Y'all know I'm just kidding. Somi's my girl, and I'm proud of her. I think this has the potential to be a sleeper hit if they promote it. You know, got a couple TikToks. You know, I'm a dum-dum. Classy dum-dum. You don't know, you know, the girls might make a TikTok dance. But I was really surprised because I didn't think that this was going to be a big thing, this subunit, because it's for a project. It's for like a bigger project. I think it's called Vivo, How to Have a Great 2021. I actually did a video on it, so if you want another video on it on this channel, so if you want to check that out, give it a like.
Vivo. I thought you meant like the YouTube Vivo, like V-E-V-O.
No, I feel like those are dead. Yeah, but now that I'm seeing that they have this cute little set where they're like, you know, cute, like this whole like dazed magazine shoot, I'm like, maybe this is a bit more serious than I thought it was, because if they're out here doing magazine shoots for it, perhaps we're actually getting like proper promotion, proper not Somi, proper promotion, proper performances, proper. I know we're getting a music video. That's definitely on the table. But yeah, I feel like somebody said in the chat, sorry, it's far away from me now. I hope they don't disappoint. Honestly, I'm worried for the girls because I feel like there's always like this, like, and I said this with EXO too. When you're a legendary group and like, you know, people are gassing you up, you know, a lot of people gas Sistar, rightfully so. They're like, you know, they were the summer queens to this day. People still recognize them as like, summer doesn't start until Sistar drops a release. There's a lot of people who are expecting them to blow this away, to be exactly like, you know, peak Sistar, Touch My Body and stuff like that. And I feel like it must be a lot of pressure because it's like, you know, even if it is a good song, who's to say that a better song doesn't come along and like, you know, totally eclipse them? Who's to say it's going to be something that they want to hear? So I feel like, I don't know, I always feel kind of bad for older groups that maybe have been away for a while because there's so much expectations. I even think this with SNSD in 21 too. Like, I feel like when SNSD gets this comeback, you know, it will do good because it's SNSD, but if it's not like, you know, recreation of the G era, people are gonna be like, they've fallen off. You know what I mean? And I won't say it, but somebody will. So, and I'm gonna have to.
It's gonna be her, guys.
No, it's not. No, I only clown EXO. Like I was like, where does
or Somi?
No,
she came and went. She came and went.
How dare you throw that in my face 2 minutes later? No, I'm good on Som. I think Som has so much potential. I truly like Somi. She's like a young legend. Like I think like this may be too much, but I feel like she doesn't have anything to prove. Like the girl was the face of IOI, one of the most iconic unit groups, the group that dang near started the craze of making these kind of shows. She almost wasn't twice until JYP did her dirty because she was an infant, but it's like she was an infant when she went on, so you knew this. Like she was running things, so I feel like she doesn't really have anything to prove. She's probably rich. So yeah. You know, I like to play. We like to be playful here. But yeah, like EXO, it's just like, don't stop the feeling. When did y'all release that? Because I don't remember, because y'all never performed it. But I also understand because there was like, Jasmine's about to be like, there was only 3 of them.
It literally is. And then Dio. Well, now Xiumin's got COVID. Dio's got final issues. What were they gonna do?
Okay. Okay. That's
you want Dio to die?
No.
I don't know if he died,
I was watching this video of Dio, and it was like these people who spoke like Spanish, and they were like, oh, we're gonna show you a song, and you're gonna listen to it, and it was Dio's song, Si Fueras Mia, and you know, all the people were like, oh my god, they're like, okay, where do you think this person is from? They're like, Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, and they're like, it's actually this man, EXO's Dio, and they're like, oh, his accent is so good, and I was like, this me, my fave. I was proud of him. Yeah, I wanted to show Danny to see if to do a similar thing to Danny, if Danny could.
Oh yeah, you should just send it to
with like
send it to send it there. Just like a clip of it, and just be like, who is what? Where do you think they're from?
But
record it with your phone.
I know we've clowned Dasam for that one performance before, LOL, but I have faith in her. Though I would have expected Soyu at first. That's true. A lot of people were saying, you know, why isn't it Somi? Soyu? Why isn't it Bora? So we could have like a sister 19, because her and Xiumin were a genuine unit that had like bops like My Boy as a unit, you know, before in the past. So why isn't that? A lot of people were questioning this pairing between Dasam and Xiumin, but also.
Dasam sings, right?
She sings, but she's definitely like, you know, the one that's like the actor. Like the intention was for her to be an actor.
Okay, but she's a singer.
Yeah.
Who's the rapper?
Bora's the rapper.
Okay.
Yeah. Soyu, Hyun main vocal, Soyu main lead vocal, Dasam sub vocal.
And Soyu, not Bora. Well, and he had a kind of have a similar voice, right?
Yeah, Hyun. Well, I feel like yeah, I feel like Soyu's is much more airy than Hyun's, but I feel like they both have soft.
I feel like they had different voices, but then as they got to the end of the group, for some reason they sounded more similar.
I think like that, like, because I feel like Soyu's really good with blending with other people's voices, so I feel like she probably adapted to just blend better with Hyun's voice, and it like resulted in them maybe sounding a bit similar, because that was another thing. Like, she was always really good at blending.
Kiana also kind of made her voice lighter. Hyunin. Oh yeah, Hyunin. Oh my god.
I was like, ooh,
Kiana. HY. And also, they're both groups that I didn't follow.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know their names.
Is anyone seeing the rise of releases having like TikTok based choreography? Yeah, definitely. Especially over here in America. I feel like a lot of people are like, we gotta have this TikTok dance. There's this thing I saw, and it was like how TikTok creates viral dances, and apparently they were saying that like Megan Thee Stallion or some person named Megan had like a consultation with TikTok higher ups, and were like, you need to push Savage because like the Savage dancer or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe I just say things, but I swear.
You need to push that.
Yeah, they're like,
it's like, okay. And how do I do that? How about you push it? You do the algorithms. What? You need to push it.
Honestly, that Dum Dum choreography looks real fun, so I don't mind. Yeah, I think the choreography, if anything's gonna make that take off, it's the choreo, because it does slap in a way. So good luck to Somi, good luck to everyone having comebacks. I'm really excited for Sistar to really start summer in September, in August, mid-August. No, but I'm really, really excited. Let me see, do I have... Oh, okay, we actually finished all the topics for the day. So I'm gonna open the floor for the last couple minutes, but first, wait, we already did the Xiumin. Unfortunately, well, go.
Sad Xiumin.
It was a sad Xiumin, but we're gonna open the floor up before we wrap it up. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I did see somebody talking about in the beginning the rumor that Chris Wu has passed away via taking his own life. That's a rumor that's going around. That's a rumor that's going around. I don't want to say it because it's hella unconfirmed. I think I saw it. I don't know where I forget where I even saw it. So I didn't want to say. There was also another rumor that there was a picture that surfaced of him in jail with his head shaved. But I didn't want to talk about that just because that is a very serious thing to not know whether it's true or not. So I don't even know why I brought it up, quite frankly. We can just skip it. But, I mean, I did see the whole thing about... Because how would anyone else know?
Yeah, and it not be confirmed.
Yeah.
I feel like TMZ would be all over that.
Right? What is this? Girls Planet 999 producers assure viewers the voting system will be fair and transparent. Okay, girl.
I was like, thank you. That's all I needed. Oh. Now I believe you guys.
Wait, I'm on the wrong page here. Sarasmia.
That sound like Taina.
No, I'm just singing my fave song. Si fueras mía. That's not how it goes, but
Taina.
Mnet will be launching a new edition program, Girls Planet 999, in attempts to leave behind the controversy of the votes being rigged on the Produce 101 series. Although the production team promised a fair and transparent voting system, some viewers and netizens have doubts about whether the show will be fair and transparent. I'm netizens. The production team of Girls Planet 999 held a production presentation on August 5th and responded to such concerns. During the interview, the production team stated the voting will be held through the Mnet platform. Already seems they need a third independent party as well as an external platform. Okay, that's fair. No, both need to be external. Only the final data will be given to the production team. We also have an external observer system to ensure that the data is accurately broadcast without being modified. Okay, girl. In addition, the production team also revealed the editing process and the allocation of airtime for the contestants. Producer Kim Shin-young stated there's only a fixed amount of time for broadcasts, so it's inevitable that there will be a variation in airtime for contestants. However, we will not intentionally devote the time to certain participants, she also added. We will also allocate the airtime on certain contestants according to the storyboard of the show, which is to show 99 girls gathered together to achieve their dreams in a friendly competition. We also will produce a lot of individual promotion videos so that the viewers will be able to see all the contestants at individual charm. That's actually a really great idea. Like, even if they don't air on the show, put out stuff on like an online platform where they all get a chance to at least somewhat shine and somewhat go viral or something. All right, we kind of know the background of this, but okay. I mean, I don't trust y'all, but that fake thing you just said sounds great. No, just kidding. I mean, what do you think? Would you go on if today you were, I don't know, born in 2008, that's how old these girls are probably now, would you go on an audition show knowing the history of produce? Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think I like boys wanting to just be in a reality, like not a reality show, like a singing competition. It just seems so fun, even if I lose.
But what the
It just
thing
seems
is,
fun.
there's losing, and then there's something where like they edit you in a way that makes you look like a villain demon, and therefore you
That's
actually
why
gain antes.
I go in knowing this, and that's why I help everybody out, even though I probably secretly hate everyone. It's like, like if someone's like, "Oh, I feel like I should have the thing," it's like, well, I actually wanted it, but since you really want it, you can have it.
Like,
And then people will be like, "Ooh, like, who's that girl?" And then when she fails, that person fails because I'll let the person that I know will fail have it.
Oh my god!
And then they fail, and I'm like out here singing. I might sing in for them while they're failing. I'm like, oh, they're failing. Let me get in there and let me actually sing their part for them. And then people will be like, hold on, why didn't she get it? She should have done it. And then people will just for me.
And then I'll be on the message board. I was like, I don't know. That stunt that Jasmine pulled was kind of fake. I feel like she's fake.
And then everyone will be like, you're just a hater.
And I'm like,
you're just
I don't
a hater.
know. I make 70 accounts. And I'm like, I feel like she's right. It did kind of seem fake. It becomes
you're liking your you're liking your own post.
I like call my grandma. I'm like this quickly. They're on to
She's like, I don't have an account. I don't know what this is. What are you?
I'm like, quickly! They're on to me. I got banned again. Y'all see the one female dance competition show that Chaeyeon is on? Someone interrupted Boa and made Chaeyeon cry. I saw and I was like, mess. There's a new dance competition where it's like just female dancers, and for some reason it's like giving. Let me see if I can pull up. It's giving like Unpretty Rap Star for no reason. Like it doesn't need to give. It's just about dancing. Do you guys have the name of the competition?
Chaeyeon's in it?
Yeah. Dance show.
Yeah,
I saw the girl who tried to interrupt Bo, and I was like, ma'am, no. I was like, you're finna get dragged. Okay, here's the one about her crying. Okay, netizens are worried for former IZ*ONE member Lee Chaeyeon as she is seen crying in the preview clip for the new Mnet show Street Woman Fighter. Mnet revealed...
What the heck?
I know, that's such an aggressive...
There's a dancing show?
What? Are they fighting? Like, are they crumping and clowning into each other's throats? What is going on?
Street Woman Fighter.
I'm scared for
what kind of...
like,
what is this?
I don't know. Mnet revealed a new preview clip of the upcoming dance competition show, Street Woman Fighter. On August 2nd, Mnet continued to promote their upcoming female dance crew competition program, Street Woman Fighter, with a second preview video. In the clip, the crew were seen going head-to-head for the first time as they choose which dancers would be the weakest in the competition. During one scene, IZ*ONE's Lee Chaeyeon drew attention as a contestant with many dancers suggesting that she cannot dance because she's an idol. Don't idols... Aren't there's idols judging the show? The scene shows her crying in the break room while saying, I can't dance anymore. Jeez. Like, why are they looking like this? I'm scared. Actually, they can look what they want. Let me not say that. They can look like what they want. In addition, Chaeyeon crying.
She's like...
I feel sorry because she probably wasn't even in this kerfuffle. This is probably just devil editing.
She was actually like, it's okay. You just
really
happened to be the role.
And they're like, ooh, that's a good one. She's wearing heavy eyeliner. Get her. In addition to Lee Chaeyeon crying in the break room, another contestant was seen disrespecting Boa, one of the judges. Yeah, Boa is a whole idol girl. One of the judges on the show by cutting her off in the middle of a sentence. This contestant is seen cutting Boa off to share what she feels. The contestant went on to say, I'm sorry, but I think I have to cut you off mid-sentence. Even Boa stopped her and said, can I finish what I'm saying? The contestant continues with her statement saying, no, I'll just say one thing. I'm sorry, Miss Boa. Uh-oh. The show preview was intense.
Watch this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe this is...
There's some drama.
Like, ooh, she's about to get swung on.
Boa was like, excuse me?
No, but I'm Boa. Like, maybe somebody didn't tell you. Like, maybe think again. Think again.
That was cute. Close your mouth. Anyway.
That's nice for you, but I'm talking actually. The show's preview was so intense that it garnered much attention from Korean netizens in an online community. And netizens who created the post in the online community wrote, "I feel like this is the dance version of Unpretty Rap Star, except it's probably less censoring. I definitely think this would get more views than Girls Planet 99." Okay, so couldn't be me interrupting Boa, but maybe she thought if she didn't say anything, she would lose her chance. Maybe she was like, "This is my chance to."
So this was keep talking over.
Listen,
you try it once, and then if she's looking at you like, "Shut up," that's when you're like, "Okay, yeah, cool."
Sorry.
No, I mean, no, I don't know what I was thinking. That was cool. Like, cool. Yeah, shut me down.
That is so messy. Street Woman Fighter is such an extra title. Like, what? Are they? If they're not scrapping, if they're not scrapping, what is going on? If this is not a boxing reality show, I'm not quite sure about that title. I'm gonna have to say no on that one. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be checking that out, y'all. So if y'all want to watch that on Twitch or something, that's what's up. So we finally come to the end of our program. I would like to first and foremost say thank you to everyone who talked and chatted and gossiped with us through tonight's episode. It was a blast. But before we go, as always, Jazz, any last words?
Yeah. The Olympics are that's so bad. That's been my last 2 weeks, so nothing's going on.
So in the words of Jazz, the Olympics are going on.
Yeah, so check that out if you haven't been checking that out. It's pretty interesting.
All right, so make sure to check that out, guys. And as for me, this is actually my last streaming schedule of the week, but I will be back with a new schedule on Sunday.
What are you watching for your anime club?
Oh yes, that's a great question. So we had an anime club yesterday and we voted on a new show. So we are watching Girls Monthly Nozaki-kun, which is
what the heck? You need to watch Steins Gate. That's what you guys need to watch.
You need to be in there and then vote for it. That's the thing.
Steins Gate rated so high. Such a good show. So much thinking.
All right, I'll make sure to throw that in the mix during our next time, because
what is this? Girls
Monthly Nozaki-kun. It's basically about this. Let me pull it up because I'm about to not do this justice.
Literature club,
girl. No. It's basically.
Oh, I know this artist.
The one who created the show.
Oh, he makes. This person made the manga where she's really good at fighting. Onega Sensei.
Onegai Onegai, please, or Onegashimasu. I don't know.
Onegai.
Okay, we're watching Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. It's basically about this girl who has a crush on this guy in her class, and so one day she decides to confess, but the way that she confesses to the dude, it's kind of makes it sound like she's saying that she's a fan of his. So he's like, "Oh, okay," and he gives her his autograph, and it turns out that this dude, he actually writes under a pen name, and this under the pen name he writes a really popular shoujo manga, so girls manga. And so he's like, "Oh, you want to help me be kind of like my assistant as I make this manga, the weekly pages or whatever?" And she agrees because she figures that she can use this as a chance to get closer to him. So it's very lighthearted, very funny, very slice of life, very comic, romantic comedy. Super, super fun. We just started, so if you haven't gone to Anime Club or been a part of Anime Club, we do it every Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST on my Twitch channel. We basically watch a couple episodes and we talk about them. For this week, we're gonna watch episodes 1 through 3. So for the meeting for our stream on this upcoming Wednesday, that's what we're gonna discuss. And then we also talk about other things like anime related stuff, like anime news topics, talk about what we're watching and stuff like that. So it's basically we just nerd out. So if that's something you might be interested in, or if you've never watched anime and you're like, "Hey, let me give it a try," this would be the perfect chance.
Never done that.
You never watched anime? Don't even know what an anime is.
I didn't sign for it. I don't even know why I was saying that. What is
I was
that?
gonna say, how are you gonna say you never watch anime and then mention Steins Gate of all anime?
Also, the manga I was talking about is called Orasama Teacher, and it's kind of funny. It's interesting.
I'll check it out.
It's the same artist.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I do like the art from this show. The main character guy, I like his design. But yeah, so it's super, super fun. And with that, I bid you all adieu. I hope you guys have a nice weekend, nice rest of the night, you know.
Listen to Astro, because I keep seeing.
Oh yeah, Stan Astro, listen to Astro.
Because it came back.
The bar is about to close, guys. I'm sorry. Last call. We're doing final sweeps. Get your selves. I was gonna say get your drunk butts out of here, but we're doing non-alcoholic beverages.
Turn on the lights.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Floodlights.
Last call.
Yeah, no.
Closing up the
Music
tabs.
stop.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye. Bye bye bye. I need to make sure I actually end the right thing. So it's not like forever playing. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.